family came into place, because I'm young, and I got three. Well, at the time, I had one son and one on the way.
Come on.
So I'm not having.
I
got to make a decision. What do you want to do? You want to do this music? Do you want to, take care of your boys? And I had to make a decision. And at this point, this was the biggest thing in my life, being with Avant. I'm calling him, he picking up, and then I even did the one thing, you get around family and friends, and then the first thing you do is like, I'm out with Avant, blah, blah, blah. And they like, boy, you don't know no Avant. I pick up the phone, I call him. Avant, what's up, bro? Levelle, what's up, man? And I was like, hey, man, thank you, man. I know you busy. He was like, oh, no, man, just call me whenever, bro. We good. Let me know when you coming back to Chicago. Everybody flipping out at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yo, what up, 33? Tell me something good.
Everybody they tell me life don't come with no menu, so we gonna take it a day at a time.
Man, about time you got here, man. Light your cigar, do whatever you gotta do. Get comfortable so we can get this game going. Oh, shit, what do you need to come out? Man, just hold your man. That's all you gotta do. Play some defense.
Man, too late, man. Domino, game. Good days, great nights. Good days, great nights. Ooh, oh. Pick your favorite cigar. Some cognac. Gotta get my applause out early. It might get kind of dangerous in here today.
Oh, it's going to be real good, brother. It's going to be real good.
Let me give it to you like this here. If you know me in the cigar world, they call me 33. CoolBreezeAl, Alicia and Harrison's daddy or father, depending on what demographic, how you get down. Your auntie's favorite podcast host. Your uncle's favorite nephew. We doing good, me and them Cowboys and him, so we be talking all the time. Second coming to Gerald Levert. The big boys, they still got to have a little flavor. And, Mr. Will Spin Your Mama from a half to a whole on some two-step stuff. This one right here, y'all, I tell y'all all the time, it's always good when I get to break bread with my people. But this one is going to be a special one. It's certain people that make it special for me, especially if you've seen their progression. You've seen they come up, seen how they got down, but I always seen their heart. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people's heart can harden or soften depending on the world and the things they see. You might have heard back in the day they was at Wyandotte, with the Bulldogs. You might have heard sitting in the barbershop or the hair shows, running it up with the twins in and out the studio, driving for the city, but just really being a humble servant. But still, through all that, you seen him on Sunday morning at church and stuff like that. So he still knew where his help came from. So this one is gonna be special because this is my guy. I don't like little brother, big brother, but this is my big brother. You see what I'm saying? In this thing. So we do things a little different here, the GoodDays GreatNights Podcast. We base it off of a road trip. A lot of times, like I said, people heard everything about you. We want them to know you in a different way.
Yes, sir.
So if we was getting ready to leave right now, where would you want to go? We can get in the car right now. You got your people with you, I got my people. We jump in the Sprinter, about 6-seater, big room. I'm going to drive first, you get ready to drive second. Where you want to go?
Man, probably Atlanta.
Okay, Atlanta, so that's 12. So I say on the other side of, I get a little sleepy at nighttime, so on the other side of St. Louis, I'm going to let you get a hold of it, right? When I let you get a hold of it, though, we already said our prayers, we already got our mind right, everything's good, right?
Absolutely.
It's your turn to drive, and you get the aux wire. Now, with what you have in the aux wire, the person in the back, they don't really know you. They just know you based off me saying, you cool, that's my partner, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what 5 songs would you play to kind of show and tell who you are as a person, as a man currently?
Man.
It's okay because they gonna change by the end of this thing.
Yeah, man. So, man, my first 5 songs.
Yeah, it's your turn. As soon as you get on that, you gotta get off on that. You get on the exit ramp, what's the first song you gonna play? Cause you driving.
Man, probably, I would probably go old school and play some Gap Band.
Some Gap Band?
Yeah, I would play some Gap Band.
What's the Gap Band song?
Probably Yearning.
Yearning?
Or probably Yearning, man. I love that song. You know, it gives you something.
Okay.
You know, and Charlie's, you know, I got to get a shout out to Unc Pops.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My fourth song would probably be Anthony Hamilton.
Which one?
Oh, man.
I mean, you could be selfish now and do a feature with Anthony, or you could do or you could do it, Anthony. It's up to you now.
Yeah, man. It would probably be Giving You the Best of Me.
Giving you the best of me.
Yeah, and then...
Tell me why.
Man, because it's just, you know, what he's saying, giving you the best of me.
Uh-huh.
I just feel like, you know, you give your all at all times.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am, no matter what the situation is.
Facts.
I try to give my best at all times and give you who I am. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it fits me more than different reasons.
Gotcha.
You know.
You got three more.
My third song would probably be Dave Hollister.
Come on, Dave.
Yeah, man. Dave is you know, my guy.
What song? It's a lot.
Man.
It's a lot.
I'm trying to think, man. Just any of Dave's songs will work for me.
We give you any. I'm gonna say I'm wrong off that one, or the back when he was with Blackstreet. I think I'm falling in love again.
Yeah, Falling in Love or Before I Get a Kiss.
You got to have it. Got to have it.
That one is that's Dave.
That's
you know?
Dave. That's Dave. Everybody don't know, but that's Dave. You know, you know.
And then I would switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I'll take that back. My second, my fourth song would probably be some Tank. Mm-hmm. And I would go back to
Come on, Tank.
That I Deserve, you know.
The original.
The original. And big shout out to the homie Lil T-Rail. He, you know, redid the remix to I Deserve, man.
I seen that.
You know what I'm saying? So I would probably play the original I Deserve.
Okay.
Because that song, back in the day, it was like Tank gave us another side of relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
that's facts.
Why are you sitting there telling us what we deserve? And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, when you really get the song, it's like, this is something that you could be going through.
Right.
If you was on that other side of that, you know. So, and then my fifth song, I would probably do some quartet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know it's crazy, but I would do some quartet.
that ain't crazy.
Especially for those long drives, man.
So what you gonna do?
Man, I would throw on some Mighty Clouds or some Darrell McFadden or some Tim Rogers.
Got to have that team.
You know, I love Tim. Sean Jones, I love that brother as well.
Yeah.
So that would be my long drive, that quartet, you know.
So check this out. We got Anthony Hamilton giving you the best of me.
Yeah.
That's just really saying I'm 10 toes down in everything I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Everything I got, I'm gonna give it to you. Gap Band Yearning.
Yeah.
That's Uncle Charlie, of course. That's being on stage. That's seeing the showmanship.
Yeah.
But then it's also a family song.
Mm-hmm.
You get everybody up at the family reunion. You got any Dave Hollister.
Yeah.
But before I let you go, just because he was blowing, he was giving them everything he had.
Right.
Tank, I Deserve, because it was another side, another facet. And quartet, just because you got to have your help.
Yeah.
Your help got to come.
Yeah,
okay?
you got to have that.
Okay, so do me a favor and introduce yourself to the people. If you could.
So what's going on, y'all? I'm Levelle out of Kansas City, Kansas. Born and raised. Graduated out of Wyandotte High School.
Come on.
I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I'm a husband.
Yeah.
I'm a brother. And I'm just a loving, caring guy on everything that I do.
That happens to sing.
That happens to sing.
That happens to sing.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, man, and I told you off air, but I want to tell you again, I appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you being patient with me.
Listen,
man.
I'm learning in this time. Everything is equipped with timing. Everything.
Yeah.
When I say everything is equipped with time, it just has to work. It has to align, and you got to build your catalog.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of catalogs,
Yeah.
you've been doing this for a good little minute.
Yeah, man.
It's great when I get on Facebook or Instagram when I see you at the table with the plaques.
Yeah, man.
And all of that. I think that's amazing, big brother. I think that when I say that's amazing because I remember you in the Benz.
Right.
Sitting in front of Mixed Company, shout out Mark, them, and Rob. And you would just be in there singing, right?
Yeah, man.
So you would have you, and I remember Pops used to always speak on on my god brother as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I remember seeing you like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So with that, how did that come to play? Was it just like growing up in the church, or was it just like it just was something you seen? How did you get to that where you knew that's what you wanted to do?
Well, actually, man, I think it was my upbringing and being in church.
Yeah.
You know, on both sides of my family. On my mom's side, we have singing. My grandfather and uncles were in the quartet group.
Okay.
And then on my dad's side, my cousins is in the quartet group.
Okay.
So on both sides, the music is there. So it was something that, you know, I enjoyed as a kid. I can remember making my first drum set with the chitlin buckets and the pots and pans,
That was
man.
it.
And I would take gray duct tape and tune my drums up. You know what I'm saying?
So with is it great tape for is like the sound on top? Is that the pad?
Yeah. I would get a paper towel.
Okay.
And I would take the tape and I would hit it and I would, you know, tape it right there. I was like, okay, that's the sound I want.
Okay.
You know, then I'd take that one. Then I cut a hole in my floor tom to give it a little room, man. And then I would go get the hollow pot for my hi-hat and my snare.
So that big chitlin pot.
Yeah, man. And so it was like, you know, I didn't have a foot, but I had everything else as far as timing. You know, and so that was my thing, man, sitting up watching videotapes of quartet groups.
Yeah.
Playing along with it and singing along with it. And then my cousins, the Sensational Wonders, Michael and Curtis, John, Kiki, Baby John. You know, I always enjoyed them growing up. And then one of the cousins couldn't make it to rehearsal. And so I ended up playing drums. And they allowed me to sing.
Yeah.
And so it was then my cousin Michael said, man, Vel, you really ought to pursue singing.
Right.
You got a gift.
Yeah.
And at the time I didn't know, you know, because drums was everything to me.
So
you know,
is drums later on in the band and all that stuff too? Or
yeah, man. Drums was like everything.
Yeah.
You know, if I could drum, I was cool.
Yeah.
You know. And so I went on and pursued it, man. And as time was going by, I saw things happening that I loved. And most importantly, it was touching people.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that not me, but I allowed God to come in and do what he do.
Facts.
And knowing that people were being touched, it was a great feeling for me because they came in one way, but they left another way.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't nothing I was doing. It was just God's glory.
Yeah.
That was coming out, man. So that really was like a turn on for me. Like, I can really do this.
Right.
You know, and so just going and going and going. Then watching people like Charlie Wilson growing up, the Gap Band, watching Frankie Beverly and Mays,
Right.
the Isley Brothers, the OJs. Looking at those guys, man, like I was like, man, one day I would love just to you know, I used to tell myself, man, I don't think I could handle being in an arena that these guys were performing in, because it would be, as a kid, you know, it may have been only 1,000 people in there, but it looked like it was millions of people. And I'm like, man, they up there singing and grooving. I'm like, man, and these people are all grooving and having a ball. I'm like, one day I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And man, you know, not knowing as a kid, I would get this opportunity.
Imagination.
Everybody, man, that I wanted to be with and watch. and where I was learning how to keep timing
Yeah.
with drums, God has actually allowed me to be on stage and tour with these guys.
Facts.
So it's an amazing thing, man. What have came out of the journey so far.
Got you. So when you think about like coming up, when I tell you like, I got a chance to see it from a bird's eye view, but up close and personal. I was outside the window, but it was a couple times you let me come in the window and see it. When you think about like that progression, and then like some of the people, do you remember like certain people's and how you was like, we was talking before, like dressing the part and why that was important and things like that. Just some people that in the city that maybe everybody don't know about. Mm-hmm. Or like where you say, hey, I got to give them their flowers.
Yeah, man. Let me stop this real quick.
Go ahead, do your thing.
There was a lot of people. Let me stop this. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that.
No, you all right.
I'll go over here to Facebook. Mm-hmm. Just because I love where this interview is going.
Yeah. Let's give them all their flowers.
Yeah, man.
You reach and grab it if you need to. Go on, grab it.
Go on and grab it.
Go on, grab it, dog.
Go on and grab it, Joe.
Let's see where we at. Oh, y'all ain't know I got no elevator music now. I'm cold now. I be ready to clip it, bro.
Tell me you love me, baby. Tell me you care. Ooh.
So talk to me. Tell me about it.
So those days, man.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Mark.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my upcoming was actually at the barbershop.
Yeah.
Me and Mark, we worked. We did a thing, man, for Hawkins Maintenance. Mm-hmm. We did janitorial work together.
Mm-hmm. Cut out Hawkeye.
Yeah, man.
Cut out Hawkeye.
And so I was always with Mark. Mark was like my big brother.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Mark had an old school Monte Carlo, mm-hmm. the big long one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we would walk around RPS.
Yeah.
And Mark used to sing back in the day. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
But he used to sing real high.
I didn't know that.
Like, oh, man. So Mark used to sing.
Their dad sung and their mom.
Man.
Yeah.
Mark had it. And so I was like, this brother sound like Smokey Robinson or something, and then, he had the good hair. So, Mark walking around, everybody was giving him all kind of love. Mm-hmm. And so I would go up there, man, and I would start singing.
Yeah.
And Mark and Rob now, man, they would have me singing, and I was getting all my jitters out up at the barbershop at Mixed Company.
Yeah.
And then your dad was up there, man, and he was telling me about Bishop and Howie and all those guys, man. So I had a lot of support back in the day as a young man, not knowing, what's to come now, man. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
Because I remember at one point in time, it was some stuff with you and Avant.
Mm-hmm.
And tell my people about it, man. They don't know. Like, tell them, give a little backstory of it.
So, man, what happened on that? Big shout out to JB, Julius.
Okay.
Salvi and JB, they were going to this big music conference in Chicago.
Okay.
And JB was like, Vel, you need to come. Mm-hmm. And I'm young, taking risks, taking chances.
Yeah.
And so I get up to Chicago, and everybody is singing. You got all these stars up there.
Yeah.
So I walked up to Avant. I was like, man, I really enjoy your music. And at the time, Avant was working with a guy named Steve Huff.
Yeah. And
they had just did the record with him and Kiki.
Okay.
And so Avant was like, man, I really enjoy your humbleness and, how you approach me.
Yeah.
And, of course, he had everybody trying to get around him.
Yeah, right.
So Avant, he was one of the first artists to actually take me up under his wing.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, we were at a conference, and, of course, I felt like somebody.
Yeah.
Because he had a manager named Big J. And so Avant said, hey, Levelle, he's with us. And so we're walking through the room, and I'm like on side of Avant with security, management, and you know, so every day looking at the time, Avant was like
that deal
on fire.
You
know what I'm saying? Myron is his name, but he was on fire, man. And so everybody is looking and they waving, and I'm like, golly, all this attention, and you know. But what he did was he took me up to his room, and he said, well, let me hear your stuff. And at the time, I had like 4 songs, and I played them for him, and he was like, man, you got a nice voice. Let me tell you that part.
Yeah.
You got a very nice voice. And he was like, you remind me of Gerald Levert mixed with Dave Hollister, mixed in with somebody else, man. But you got your own thing. I could tell you listen to Dave.
Right.
You know, and Dave was like one of my idols coming up, you know.
Right.
And so I try to stay away from that, you know. But I was like, thank you, man. And so he listened to the music, and he was the first guy to tell me how to break a song down.
Like counts,
getting to the point.
Yeah.
Because the song had played like a minute and 30 seconds before the chorus even came in.
You still in the
So
middle.
I'm still at the beginning. He was like, it's taking too long to get to the point.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta hit them with something right up top.
Yeah.
Or you gotta get to that chorus a lot quicker, because a A&R will only give you 15 seconds. And if you ain't caught they ear in that 15 seconds, they not even gonna get the chorus.
Okay.
They just gonna pass on the record. So he was like, I tell you what, like this song right here, you said your friends call it love. He was like, you need to come in. My friends call it love, love, love. Then you go into looking in your eyes.
Yeah.
But they already got what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when you just did it, you went from looking in her eyes to this is a surprise to this is that to that is that. I didn't know if you were going here, there, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was breaking it down to me like, man, you know, get to your chorus, you know, get your verses this, blah, blah, blah.
So that's probably some of the best advice.
That was the best advice I've ever heard at that point. You know what I'm saying? And at that time.
Yeah.
And so he says, I'm going to be in Chicago for 3 weeks because I'm working on a new record. And me and Kiki just got done. He says, when you going back? Now, at this time, we did something crazy.
Yeah.
We drove all day to get to Chicago. We did the event, jumped back on the road, and came right back home.
Yeah.
So he was like, are you staying? He was like, where are you staying at?
Yeah.
I think we were at the House of Blues or somewhere downtown in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I told him I was going back tonight. And he was like, okay, take my number. If you could get back up to Chicago, I'll get you in the studio with me, and you can see how this go. So I'm thinking, okay, he done gave me the wrong number. You know, he just done gave me a Google number or something like that. So I went home. I was excited. Of course, we had pictures. So I could go back home and say, hey, I was with Avant, you know. We in the room and woo. And he like come back up here. He go take me into the studio. So I went home, talked to the family. I went back up to Chicago the next week by myself. So I called Avant. I said, hey, brother, I'm here in Chicago. I came back by myself. He said, okay, cool. He said, I'll be down in a minute. Come to find out, he was still at the same hotel. He had stayed there the whole time while he was cutting. We hung out. You know, we got to do a lot of things, man. And he was inviting me out on the road with him. He was doing that. He was doing some other things, man. And then family came into place, you know, because I'm young. And I got 3. At the time, I had 1 son and 1 on the way.
Come on.
You know. So I'm not having. I got to make a decision. What do you want to do? You want to do this music? Do you want to, you know, take care of your boys and well, basically, I made a vow to myself as a young man, if I ever had kids, I'm gonna be that dad and raise them and take care of them.
Okay.
So I had to make a decision. And at this point, this was the biggest thing in my life, you know, being with Avant. I'm calling him, he picking up, you know, and then I even did the one thing, you know, you get around family and friends, and then the first thing you do is like, yeah, I'm out with Avant, blah, blah, blah. And they like, boy, you don't know no Avant. I pick up the phone, I call him. Vaughn, what's up, bro? Vale, what's up, man? I said, man, I'm chilling. So, hey, man, I'm working on blah, blah, blah. How do you think I should blah, blah, blah? And he telling me, and I was like, hey, man, thank you, man. I know you busy. He was like, oh, no, man, just call me whenever, bro. We good. Let me know when you coming back to Chicago. Everybody flipping out at this point. You know, but then at the same time, like I said, I had one son and another one on the way. So I had to do what I had to do as a man and make a decision. And make sure my boys was good. And so I decided to be a father.
So with that, man, that's so much of like, I give you the praises to it, because a lot of times when I talk to my dad or I talk to my mom and I ask them, I say, hey, man, what did you want to do like prior to having kids? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, bro, we'll have dreams. And we didn't say what we're going to do and how we're going to do this thing and how it's going to be, right? And you'll look up and you'll be like, dang, man, I'm not getting where I want to be my dream, because I got to kind of, in the same sense, I got to settle a little bit right now and be a parent. So when you do that with your kids, man, do you think that you're giving your kids a service or a disservice, like by teaching them how to dream? Like right now where you're at and the things they seen you do with music, because, you know, I know two of them was real big in football, you see what I'm saying, in sports and stuff. So do you think that when you was going through that and going through life now, when they look at you, they can say, my dad taught me how to dream?
And actually they all have came back to me and said that, you know, and that was the biggest. I made it. You know, if I didn't do nothing else, I made it. To have all three come back and say, thank you, Pops. Because of you, I was able to do this. Because of you, you showed me how to be a man. You showed me how to do this and do that. And then I also told him, you know, a dream is always a dream until you stop dreaming or you stop pursuing your dream, you know. And so it's still in them to pursue every opportunity. And you know, who's to tell you what you can't do? You know, you can't do it if you stop trying to do it. You know, but if you push yourself, anything is possible.
No, that's real, because I remember, man, and like I said, it was you taught me. My dad taught me a lot of things, but a lot of the cats that I was up underneath, y'all didn't know, but y'all was teaching me so much. Man, I used to watch you sew into them kids on the football field.
Man.
And, you know, even when I was able to get a little change, I take them, hey, come on, go eat with me. You know what I'm saying? And you like, come on, y'all go with me. And at the basketball games, you at the snack bar line, hey, all of y'all, I got it. But I liked it because it wasn't a thing of like, I'm not trying to buy y'all. I'm just trying to take the load off of what you got going on. I seen kids be frustrated and they couldn't talk. Nobody could talk to them. You over there like this.
And
get them right back. And so then I look up, I'm coming to y'all house stepping over kids. Stepping over kids. Plus what the missus got going on with, you know, say with the care and everything else like that. But it was always a welcoming thing. You got that from Pops or you got that from Moms or a little bit of both?
Man, I'm going to just say I would think it's more of, like I said, my upbringing. My grandparents. My mom and dad. And then actually watching them struggle. Watching them go through ups and downs. It was, you know, I do believe people go through stuff as a child that can affect them as an adult. But I personally feel like it's what you do with what you've been through to either make you a better person or deteriorate you. And so I chose to take what I've been through and what I've seen to make it different for me, and to realize that I'm that, you know, those young men that I was pouring back into, I was that young man. And it just, you just needed one person.
That's it.
You know, just to believe or just to believe or just to be there for them, and just show them that you can do anything, you know. And a lot of times we don't know how to connect or reach our youth because we don't come down to their level.
Gotcha.
You know, and it's not you're breaking who you are or what you believe in, but in order to get them, it's good. In order to get them to even talk or understand what you're doing, you have to come to their level. They got to know they can talk to you.
Gotcha.
They got to know that they can trust you. And then they got to know that, most importantly, you somebody that genuinely care about what they got going.
Gotcha.
You know. So that was the biggest thing for me, is just being there, knowing and being it was I got joy out of doing that.
Yeah, I mean I could see it. It wasn't like a thing with ill intent. You know, a lot of times you see people up underneath, oh, he gonna be something, they gonna be something. Let me latch on to him. Yeah. It was never that.
Yeah.
I never, you know, so with my baby brother, he like, man, I'm over there with fam, and it was like that made a bond. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for those that may not know, your middle child and my brother, you know what I'm saying, was thick as Steve's. You
Absolutely.
know? And then it looked at like, you know, like the baby boy, we 7 days apart in days, so we had our vibe, and then the oldest one, it was always love, but it was a family dynamics, and I thought that was amazing because you don't see two black men be able to let another man lead their kids.
Absolutely.
And it not be a thing of feeling offensive. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because a lot of times people be like, man, you can't tell my son what to do.
Yeah.
Now go over there. Yeah. But if you cut up, they got the right to do whatever.
Absolutely.
You know? So it was good seeing that. So when I look at that, man, and then I look at like the music, and I seen you go through some highs and lows with the voice situation and with your parent, with your dad and different things like that. Where do you think, do you think that by giving your kids that service and teaching them how to dream, where did the switch get back? Was that God's reward to come back around and bless you?
Well, most importantly for me, man, that's crazy how you just did that, and
You see what I'm saying?
it just brought back memories of the sacrifices that I had made to know, even for my wife. You know, coming up, she said I wanted to be an RN at this age. I wanted to own my own daycare at this age.
Yeah.
And I was that guy saying, who said you can't do it? You know, go do it. I'll hold it down. My kids, I was like, let's get it. You know?
Yeah.
And so everybody was like, from my oldest to my baby boy, like, Pops, you was there for us.
Yeah.
All three of us.
Come on.
Have graduated high school.
Come on.
Got some college education. Graduated from college.
Yeah.
And Mom is where she is.
Yeah.
We where we at. It's time for you to go get your dream.
Yeah.
And from that moment, it was like a light clicked on.
Yeah.
I was able to quit my job.
Yeah.
And pursue the music, you know, and it was, I had just did a show with Charlie Wilson, and that next day, Charlie was the special, he was the guest host on Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And I used to call in on Steve Harvey to get in and win the competition.
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And so he was doing a thing where you could sing and win your way to the Hoodie Awards.
Yeah.
And so the first time I did it, I didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know, I was singing. I'm learning how to sing on the phone. So, actually my first, it was... turn the lights down low.
Come on.
So I'm singing real.
Wow.
Take it nice and slow. My mission is to keep your mind.
That's crazy.
Don't want this to be the last time. So
Yeah.
I'm singing all low and trying to sing pretty because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
how's it coming out on the phone? And they was like, oh my God, you can sing. But I feel like you didn't give it to us. Like
Gotcha.
you didn't go there.
Gotcha.
Another dude came on
Killed it.
and he did what I was supposed to do. He came on and sung A Change Is Gonna Come.
That's it.
And I mean, he got down there and sung it. They was like, wow, this is what we talking about.
Yeah.
So he sang the song. But what they did do is I was able to talk to Charlie and Steve
Yeah.
on that radio show.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Uncle Charlie, this is Levelle. I was with you last night. He said, I know exactly who you are.
Yeah.
This boy tore the stage up last night, had my wife come get me out of my dressing room while he was doing sound check.
Mm-hmm.
And so Steve Harvey and them was like, they were really talking like, yeah, he just sung down and he was singing too pretty. We wanted him to sing. But I called back in that next week.
It's on.
And I won.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Steve, and he was like, your parachute, you got to jump.
You got to jump.
And I'm sitting there like, okay. And I'm like, well, what do you mean by this? He said, so tell me, what do you do outside of singing? I said, well, I drive for the unified government. I feed the elderly, blah, blah, blah. He said, you got to quit your job.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I can't quit my job, bro. I got a mortgage. I got a family.
Come on.
You know, I got a wife. You know,
Come
I
on.
can't quit my job. He was like, nah, you got to quit your job, bro.
Yeah.
He said, because as long as you
Hold
are
on.
at that job and holding on to it, that's where you're going to depend on your paycheck.
Right.
He's like, you got to let that go and put in your mind that you a star, you a singer, and this is what you do by all means necessary.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you really believe that, nephew Tommy came on and was like, man, will you quit your job? And I'm like, I don't know. He was like, well, you know, your parachute, it won't never open.
Yeah.
Because you depending on that job.
Facts.
And then that light clicked on, and I went, and my wife was right there. She heard the conversation.
Yeah.
And she was like, you need to quit. Now, in today's time,
Come on.
you don't find no sisters.
Come on.
Not in today's time.
Work the word, Doc.
Yeah, in today's time. According to the book of life,
Come on.
you don't find no sisters saying, well, you need to quit.
Yeah.
You really need to pursue your dream.
Yeah.
I believe in you. Your kids believe in you.
Yeah.
You supported us all these years. I'm an RN. I have my own business. I have my own daycare. Now it's time for you to go get your dream.
Go get your drink.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, where do I start?
Okay.
What do I do now? And I'm already doing shows everywhere, you know. And the crazy part is, to this day, I couldn't tell you how I was getting on shows that I was getting on.
Yeah.
I'm an unsigned artist at this time, and I'm on stage with Fantasia. I'm on stage with Charlie Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm on stage with Frankie Beverly and Mays. I'm on stage with the OJs.
Yeah.
I'm on stage with Tank.
Come on.
I'm on stage with Dave Hollister.
Come on.
I'm on stage with, at the time I even did something with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on stage with SWV, Changing Faces, H-Town. I'm on stage with all these people. But before that, I have to go back and give Bishop, Marlon, Keith,
Come on. The twins. Yeah. Yeah.
and the twins,
Come on.
and Von Zell, and
Yeah.
all them guys back in the day.
Yeah.
I have to give them their flowers.
Yeah.
Because it was people like me and Howie.
Yeah.
Howie is a phenomenal, crazy singer.
Shout out Howie T.
You know, Howie T. That's my dog. You know what I mean? I never forget, they were doing the school tour.
Yeah. A16. They was A16.
We couldn't even, you know, me and Howie, we couldn't even get in, man. And
Come
it
on.
was like they was so big at the time.
Yeah.
You know, but Howie was the first guy was like, you know what, Vale? You gotta dress like you one of them. You the star. You know, put your glasses on, get a towel, put
Yeah.
the towel around your neck,
Yeah.
and be extra, be Hollywood. And so the first night, there was a big show at the Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah.
And I think Joe was here. And
Yeah.
Bishop and them all had the plug
Yeah.
with them. So they was already in there backstage. Genuine, yeah. So me and Howie met up.
Yeah.
And we met at the Municipal. And Howie was, I mean, you would have swore he was,
He was on.
you would have swore he was the star.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was there, but I wasn't
Yeah.
like where he was at. So, you know, I got my towel. He got his glasses. I got my glasses. So he was like, just follow me. So we going through the thing. And as soon as we get to this door, I'm nervous. I'm about to pee on myself because you got security right here.
Yeah.
And I'm knowing everybody looking at me and him like, who is these dudes?
Yeah.
You know, because we different from everybody else.
Yeah.
We looking like stars and we got towels around our neck like we finna sing and we covering up and all of that.
Keep it thermal.
So the security said, yeah, man, we help you. How we like, yeah, we with the band. We about to go up and sing. We was just, coming to check out the view. They was like, oh, okay, man, y'all look like it. He was like, yeah, we about to come up for a minute. We just came down. So they was like, oh, okay, do y'all need us to escort y'all back there? He was like, no, we got it. So, man, we go through the elevator.
Come on.
He look at me, and I'm like, we pulled it off. So now when we get downstairs, it's another set of security.
Yeah.
Because when you get downstairs, you got to walk through a whole nother lane.
Come on.
And when you get there, you behind the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So security see us come through. We got our towels on the neck. How we started singing.
Yeah.
And I'm So we get out. We think it's security finna say something.
Yeah.
We came out singing. We came out with the towels around our neck. We came off like we finna go get it. They didn't say not one word. We kept walking.
Come on.
We kept walking. Before you knew it, we with everybody else. We with Bishop, Marlon, Keith. We back there with everybody. And they thinking like, how did they pull that off? It was a thing that, how he taught me. And that was some of the stuff that worked for me outside of being at home. I would take a trip. When I knew it was a big concert,
and try.
I would go, and it worked. Like, I never forget, if you ever been to a Charlie concert or an Isley Brother or a Babyface, a Key Sweat, security is like so crazy to where the people, they take their job so serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So I never forget, it was a big show, and I said, man, I'm just going.
Yeah.
Charlie gonna know who I am. I did the show with him, and, I just got to get there.
Yeah.
So I did the trick. And the trick is you always go early.
Yeah.
You always go 3-4 hours early.
Yeah.
Because somebody's doing sound check.
Yeah.
So you go early. You don't have a lot. So security is seeing you in and out, and you looking like somebody. When you get in the sound check, you just move your head like, yeah, make them feel good that's on stage. Like you a part of what's going on.
Yeah.
So then you walk out. You ask security, y'all good, man? Y'all need anything? So you building a relationship up.
Yeah.
And I never forget one guy, he was like, man, I can't drink, man, but hey, you just slip me a drink real quick, man. I got you covered. I said, well, we good, man. We got a lot of liquor in the back if you want to come back to the back. Now, if he would have said he was coming, I'd have been caught. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I already knew, because he was in the front, that he couldn't go to the back.
Right.
But I was just playing it off like, man, which it was a lot of food and all that back there. And so that trick worked for a long time.
Yeah.
Until I became who I am. And it's like now,
Come on.
when I walk through, oh, that's Levelle, come on, man. So now that trick I don't have to do the trick no more. They know who I am.
Facts.
As a person, as an artist.
When I look at it and I think about it, I hear you said you never imagined being in those arenas with those people.
Yeah.
To know that you was living out your dream
in
that moment.
Yeah.
To later make a sacrifice and say, I'm gonna raise my kids, but then I'm gonna get a chance to come back around.
Yeah.
It has to be rewarding, not to just you, but to your wife, to your kids, to the people that was like, rooting you on with with that kind of feel, to know that it was really your imagination. And then Steve would say, the imagination is life's coming attractions if you believe it. So I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely.
Even with this, what I'm saying, even sitting down, and I dreamed of days that I can call certain people and be like, I know some of the people. You know what I'm saying? I even, what I'm saying, just to be honest, bro, to call you at a part in my life, a chapter in my life when I was getting ready to get married, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, can you do me? You like, bro, without a question.
Right.
And it was so much of a reward because it was the hot dog fest.
Yeah.
And I'm a young dude. I'm not knowing how big the hot dog fest is.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, man, I'm gonna break away to come sing at the wedding. But not only did you sing at the wedding, you sung at the proposal.
Yeah.
And bro, I just remember whenever that phone rung, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
What's up? You see what I'm saying? And I got a chance to see you teaching me, like, whatever you want to do, you can do.
Yeah.
How we earn this. All of them teaching me, you know, when I see Church Boy and all of them, all of y'all are teaching me,
Yeah.
dream, keep dreaming. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing to you is when you look at, like, relationships, friendships, and situationships, and even in the business, what is some advice that you could give to people, like, when they're getting into the music business or just the business of doing good business with people, your brother from brother? When you meet another man, like, how is it important to do this and different things? Just examples like that. You got some of those?
Well, most definitely, man. You know, everything I do, I have to talk off experience.
Come on.
So, unfortunately, man, it's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because where I come from, anytime you get an opportunity, you give your all.
Got to.
At all times.
Okay.
But in the industry, that can come off offensive to certain people because they feel like you trying to step on their toes or you trying to, you know, some people are very territorial of their circle and what they are and who they are. So, you know, I won't call no names, but it's been a lot of major artists that they had to learn to love me because I'm just this guy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't coming in trying to be cocky because they felt like I had a different voice.
Yeah.
And I could actually do what they were doing.
Right.
But I would do it either a little better.
Come on.
Or I would do it a little different. And it wasn't no different. It was just the spirit that were in me. You know, the gift that God gave me. So I would say to an artist that's coming in, always stay humble.
Yeah.
Stay humble. Learn.
Is that humble with, like, what's the but? It's got, because my word is humble.
Yeah.
Well, you know, me and Jay share humble. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But is it sometimes?
Well, you have to stand up when you have to stand up.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But be humble. And when you have to put your pants on,
Yeah.
you have to do that because if not, you know, it's a run over situation.
Yeah.
But in all things, man, you know, be humble and you know, be who you are at all times.
Okay.
You know, and just try to you know, see how that person is, you know, because like I said, coming where I'm from, you getting the opportunity to sing. Okay, prime example, Charlie Wilson.
Come on.
He used to tell me, G, and Aubrey, if I give you this mic, you better try to stump my neck off. He said, because when you give it back,
I'm getting you back.
I'm gonna demolish you. I'm gonna demolish you. And that's him to this day.
Yeah.
You would think, you know, these are our old school, these are our veterans.
Yeah.
Let Charlie be on the stage with the Isleys or the Frankie and Frankie with the Isleys. They cutting each other's neck. And at the end of the night, we love each other.
Give me some of that.
But it's no holds barred.
Yeah.
Now, coming up from that, being around certain artists now, they do a riff, you do it. They do. You go,
You got to put your piece on it.
They be like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Then they'll do something different. And then you do what they did, but then you do it a little harder.
Got to.
And then you take it to a whole nother level. Now, once again, you this happy-go-lucky guy trying to fit in, and you thinking, this is my opportunity for love.
Yeah.
And then at the whole time, they just trying to figure you out of what you can do, what you can't do. And then if you get to that point where you're doing everything and you stand up on that level, it could be a good or it could be a bad thing.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha.
So it's just a matter of just learning who you with, learning how to be a people's person.
Got you. So you living your dream.
Absolutely.
So what's your legacy when it's all said and done?
When it's all said and done, he's a guy that was in the air of bringing back love, respectful music.
Come on. Come on.
Being a person that really gave his all to what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And most importantly, man, letting men know we can be men.
Yeah.
And we can still love on each other.
Yeah.
And be there for each other. And then still be a father, a husband. Mm-hmm. You know, you have a lot of successful people that's not in the music business, and they still a family man.
Yeah.
You know, so just make a different stand for this music thing of what we are and who we are, you know. So that's my legacy, man, of knowing that I accomplished everything that I wanted to do, from being a father, a husband, to being a helpmate to brothers and to ladies, to know that, you know, they carry a very, very important piece in our life as a man when we're held accountable.
Come on. I like that. So if you could tell the young Levelle, I'm talking about driving for Unified.
Yeah.
Maybe going down State Avenue, clocking in every day. That Levelle, what would you tell him? What would you tell him? What would you whisper in his ear? He's sitting there eating on lunch break, and he trying to focus. When you walk past him, young Levelle, what would you tell young Levelle?
I would have told young Levelle then, go get it now.
Go get it now.
Go get it now. Go get it now.
Okay.
You know, but at the time I didn't see.
No. This is Les's ball. This is Les's ball. So you get a chance to go back and tell the younger you say, go get it now.
Go get it now. But I didn't, you know, I couldn't see that I could have did it as a father and in the music, you know, because I see my brother Anthony. Anthony lives by. He is a person that sings what he lives about.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know Anthony is a full-time dad.
Yeah.
He still makes just about every football game.
So he planning it accordingly.
The kids is with him, you know, and he have young men. So watching him do what he do year after year, and him sharing his family and his and he got young kids, man. He got middle school kids and twins. So watching him do that, that was something that, you know, if I had that kind of guidance, I would have went for it then.
Okay. And then when you look at one thing that you think if you could master one thing, I tell everybody my thing is time management. If you could master one thing in this lifetime and you can be the best at it you can be that you think you need to improve on, what would that one thing be?
That's a good one. I would probably say time management as well.
Yeah.
You know, because you only got 24 hours in a day.
Man, listen.
But some days, man, like now, I don't even know how I'm moving.
Yeah.
You know, I all day up from 3 a.m. yesterday morning.
Come on.
To being in the studio from 9:30 to about 2:33 this morning. Back up at 3.
Yeah.
And been going ever since, back in the studio at noon.
Yeah.
And I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, you know, time management.
And I think you get lost in what you love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay.
Yeah.
Because you, like I said, you're living out your dream.
Yeah, man. So, this is a thing of a lot of people have a lot of addictions.
Yeah.
This is my addiction.
Yeah, that's my vice. Everybody got a vice.
Yeah, this is my addiction.
Yeah.
And now being top 4 in the world on Billboard.
Hold on, they didn't hear you. Say it again.
Man.
Say it again.
Being top 4 on Billboard.
One more time. One more time.
Being top 4.
Okay.
Well, being number 4.
Come on
Billboard reoccurring
chest,
charts. Yeah.
All right.
On Billboard, not the regular radio charts.
Nothing against Hot 103.
Yeah. Nothing against none of them because we need them.
We need them.
But Billboard.
Yeah.
Being number 4, number 11.
Okay.
Now I'm a young man out of Kansas City.
Okay.
You know, having people in my life that believed in me as much as I believed in me.
Come on.
Being that, man, it's like you chasing it so hard to where I can't. Like, now I get it. Like, we didn't came out with Don't Play With Love and Fell in Love. And it's crazy because XM Radio said, Levelle, we don't know how you're going to top these songs. We think Fell in Love is like at close to 4 million streams and downloads. Once again, I'm out of Kansas City, Kansas, you know? So to have that, man, it's like, okay, this is what you do. So you have to, first you got to know who your circle is. You got to know the right people to work with. So what I do is I keep my circle on 4 fingers, you know. So I had to go back to that root, you know, me and Anthony Saunders.
Come on, shout out AS.
You know,
shout out
me
AS.
And AS.
Shout out AS.
I had to go to my brother, that Jay Sean Champion, out of Cleveland, which is Minute Large's little brother.
Come on.
These are the guys that gave me these songs. So this is what I had to do. I had to get back to that and say, okay, guys, we did this. This is what I'm thinking. This is where we need to go. What are y'all thinking? Okay, Vel, you gave them this. You gave them that. They need to see you in all kind of angles. But you need to give them Levelle. You don't need to change up who you are.
Come on.
But give them who you are. And man, it's amazing.
So, like I said, I fan out when it comes to, saying y'all, because I got a chance to sit and watch y'all. But you think about, like, intrigued by you, the experience, and all those different tapes and all those different songs, and then turn around and see you doing the "Don't Go to Bed Mad" video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you've been around the world, but how does it feel, man, coming back home and singing? I know it's a lot. Everybody want to get in, because we got a little thing. We got a little thing we used to do back in the day to get me in the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're talking about it, how to get me in. But how does it feel, man? Like I ask everybody, because I don't look at y'all as local artists. I'm real big on that. Like, I look at y'all as national recording artists. You know what I'm saying? Because you got it. This thing right here allows you to be able to be heard worldwide.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So I always want to make sure everybody know that you're not just local, you national. I don't care if you got one song. You national because you press the button, right? How does it feel riding by a picnic or a barbecue, or going through the Vine, going in Soiree, or going, you know what I'm saying, seeing people like, I've sent it to the juniors a lot of times, because, two-stepping my thing. So
Absolutely.
When I see them in there two-stepping to it, how does that make you feel?
It's amazing, man. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a feeling that it pushes your addiction.
Yeah.
Because to know people are actually tuning in.
Yeah.
And finding out who you are. I had people that I've met that they were like, man, we knew of you.
Yeah.
But when we heard this song, we dug in and found out you went to Wyandotte, you was from Kansas, and now we sing you.
Yeah.
We just wanted to tell you, man, thank you for what you've done with this music. And for me, that's the biggest thing, and I want to do my best to stay in my hometown.
Yeah.
You know,
because I know it's at that point where most people say you gotta leave.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to leave. I think you have to leave when your family's in danger.
Yeah.
And and it's so, in this day and time, it's so real. That's why I'm just a plain guy. Yeah. And I don't wear no jewelry and none of that until I go on stage. When I get off stage, it's with my assistant, my road manager, Ricky. Yeah. And it's back at him, and it's put up, and it's it's not worth all of that. So I try to keep it as humble as possible. and the circle, your circle that you deal with, man. But for me, it's a beautiful. That's the payoff. That's the pleasure for me.
Yeah.
Knowing that I can walk in somewhere, and they say, "Hey, man, your gas and your coffee's paid for. Thank you for what you did."
Mm-hmm.
Or, "Hey, we got your dinner." Or, me and the wife is out somewhere eating, and they paid for you. They said, "Are you the guy that blah, blah, blah?"
Right.
And I get up and walk over and say, "Hey, thank you. Y'all didn't have to do that. So let me pay for y'all's dinner."
Facts. Got to give right back.
You give right back. It's just it's a great feeling, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great feeling.
So when we had a good place, man. When you think about life and the blessings that you had, a lot of times we get so caught in going.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got a chance now to kind of come back around and get your flowers and smelling your flowers. Is it a goal? Like, do you want to have your own label? Do you want to what are you trying to do longevity? Because everybody say, well, what they doing for the city and all this and all that. But I've seen you call people and say, hey, come sing, background, come do this. Hey, I'm on this stage, come do this. I watched Voodoo many a days and seeing you do your thing. And then, like I said, when I see concerts coming, they say Kansas City's own Levelle, it do something. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So how else will you continue to give back is what I'm asking.
For me, man, I used to say, when I make it, I'm going to help as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Maturing in this business.
Come on. Say it.
It's not as easy as you think.
Say it.
And no matter how you give the floor to them, they still have to cross that path for themselves. So that old saying, you can take a mule to the water, but you can't make him drink it.
If you try to make him drink it, you'll drown.
Yes, sir.
That's
so
it.
For me, man, it's just knowing when and I listen to God. If he put it on my heart to do it, I'll do what I can.
Okay.
But for most importantly, the best thing for me is just being who I am.
Yeah.
Staying humble and loving on you anyway.
Yeah.
In spite of. So if I can't help you physically, because a lot of times the door that God has opened for me, he didn't open it for you.
Yeah.
And just because we're associates don't mean, I get weird stuff, man. I get people calling me like, well, we seen you talking to blah, 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 and you was blah, blah, blah. Hey, can you call in for me and blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, it just don't work like that.
Yeah.
I can't pick up the phone and call Anthony and say, hey, Anthony, man, my guy want to do a podcast or blah, blah, blah. Or this person wants you to come sing at their wedding, and they're going to tell me we only got $1,000.
Listen,
know.
I was guilty. And I tell them, I tell them. Yeah. I called my guy one day. I said, hey, man, Tank coming to the city. What's going on? He like, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a thing of like, you got me messed up. Don't call me for that. It was like, hey, let me show you. This is how it's working.
Yeah.
So I'm real big in my life right now about being transparent. It's been a million times I've called, hey, can this, that is?
Yeah.
And you've been able to say, hey, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
I wish it did, but that ain't how it worked. But I can ask, but they still want to tag. They whether you my partner or not.
Yeah, man.
They still want to tag because they got to get something out of it.
Absolutely.
Because it's time.
Absolutely.
When sense of emergency, I'm real big on that. A lot of times you go fill out a job application, you get a new job, you do your open enrollment, and they say in the event of emergency, who's the first person you call, right? I'm gonna ask you, if something was to happen, who's the first person you call?
In the music business or
life? First person you call. I'm gonna give it benefit of the doubt. It's your wife, right? Mm-hmm. You and your wife together. You need something done. Who's the next person you call?
Wow.
Who's the
I was
next
about
person?
to say my wife.
No, that's everybody. That's how it goes,
Yeah.
right? My challenge to every man, to every woman. A lot of times you go on your phone right now, and you might have 1,800 contacts. We have to be intentional with the people we allow in our lives.
Absolutely.
So my thing is I should be able to call anybody in my phone for anything. And because of who I am and how they see me as a person, as a man, they should be able to help me.
Yeah.
And and vice versa.
I have a few like that I could do.
Right.
Yeah.
the goal is how many numbers do you know by heart? If the phone die,
I don't know.
you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
We done got out of that where we can't even, something was to happen.
Right.
We'll talk about it after, but I had a time with you where you had to help me come home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like some silly stuff. You know, like if you think about stuff like that, right? But you don't have that number saved, so you got to call this person to call that person to call that person.
Right.
So I always challenge. Man, this is a good one. If you do me one favor, I tell this story about Eddie Levelle. tell that story for me.
Okay.
Tell that story for me before we go.
So man, I was.
Cause hold on, I'm a big time Gerald Levelle fan, y'all.
Yeah, man.
So you got to understand the story and why I say the second coming of Gerald Levelle. Go ahead.
So let me go back before I tell this story and give a shout out to D Barker, the two-stepping lady.
Come on, D.
D, that's my sweetheart.
Yeah.
So there was a promoter in town, Shaft Entertainment. And he did a big tour. The tour was with Babyface, K. John, Frankie Beverly, and Maze.
Come on.
And so Shaft said, I'm looking for an open artist to open up the show. So D called me and she says, Levelle, I need you to get down to the Juke House.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes, I need you to stop what you're doing. The promoter's in there right now and he's looking for somebody. Now, I already told him about you, but I want you to go in there and I want you to sing.
Yeah.
Went in there and saw. So, dude about 6'4", big dude. You know, he walk up, and I could tell he wasn't from here.
Yeah, you know, when you know, yeah.
So he walked up, and he's like, man, what's up? I said, hey, how you doing, sir? He said, I'm Shaft. I said, oh, okay, what's up? You know. I'm like, because I don't have problems like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, man, I'm the promoter. I'm doing this tour.
Yeah.
And he said, I like what you just did, man. He said, what would it take for you to open up my show? I said, man, I'm with it. I'll do whatever we need to do. And so I started off, I was like, do you have any flyers? He was like, I got a whole bunch. Why? I said, let's go put them out. He said, huh? We at the Juke House.
Yeah, let's go outside.
He was like, let's go put them out, man. You know? He was like, you mean to tell me you would go put out some flyers the way you just sung?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, man, we got to support the show. You go give me an opportunity to do the show.
Come on, man.
So he was like, yeah, you doing the show.
Yeah.
So I did the show the next day. We probably put out about 3,000-4,000 flyers. Show sold out. Matter of fact, it was the second show at the Independence event place out in Lee Summit.
Yeah.
Tech was the first person to perform there. I was the first R&B person to perform there from here.
Gotcha.
So we did it there. It sold out. We did the show. And he said, hey, look, I got St. Louis tomorrow. You going? You want to do it? I said, I just got to figure out how to get. He said, do you want to do the show? I said, yeah, I do it. He said, I'm only give you about $1,000 to do the show. Now, I ain't making no money. I said, huh? He's like, yeah, then I'm going to pay. Get you up there. Let's go. So we jump on the plane. We go to do St. Louis. St. Louis went crazy. He said, look, next week, I got the OJ's How Are You? And do you want to go do the show?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I want to go do the show. I said, where we doing it at? He was like, Augusta, Georgia, at the James Brown Arena.
Yeah, come closer.
He was like, at the James Brown Arena.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, you serious? Next day, we all coming back from the trip from St. Louis. He gets my information. He books my flight to Augusta, Georgia. Now, Gerald was one of the guys that I really idoled. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm looking at the audience of what I'm finna do, the show. And I'm realizing How Are You with the OJ's on there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking in my head, I'm finna do a Gerald Levelle song.
Yeah.
So I put ABC 1, 2, 3 in my show.
Yeah.
And so I'm up on stage and I'm killing it. So Eric Nolan Grant was the first person to come out. He called Jay Sean. Mm-hmm. He says, Jay Sean, I want you to hear this boy sing.
Yeah.
So he on the phone while I'm on stage. Jay Sean like, wow, he killing it. So I'm on stage and I get to ABC and I'm every night I drop down on my knees. I get down on my knees and give thanks for you.
Yeah.
Everybody going crazy. Now, I'm thinking they was going crazy because I was singing my heart out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did I do? I was like, well, wow. God, wow, Lord, I must have
done something.
You must have gave me something because I'm getting that love like I'm Gerald Levert singing this song.
Yeah.
Come to find out, when I got to ABC 1, 2, I'm loving you, just keep loving me.
Come on, yeah.
So they still yelling and hollering. So by the time I'm getting ready to close the song, I look over to my right. Eddie Levert was on side of the stage, no shoes on, buttoning his pants up, and he was on the side crying.
Yeah.
And he was just like, it was crazy. So I was able to walk over and we hugged, and it was like it was planned, but none of it was planned.
Yeah.
And it was like a standing ovation. And from that point on, Eric kept in touch.
Come on.
And Eric Nolan is my guy.
Yeah.
He formed a group called G-Men.
Come on.
And we went out and worked, man, and we put stuff together. Things didn't happen the way we wanted it to. Mm-hmm. But being in that presence of being with him,
come on,
and what he did, it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
To do that. And so I wouldn't have had that opportunity to sing in front of Gerald Levert if it wasn't for D.
It's that.
And then Shaft for putting me on. And after doing that, Shaft said I got like 30 dates with Cedric, the Entertainer, JJ, and Malik.
Yeah.
So instead of it being the comedy tour, it's going to be the Love and Laugh tour.
That's dope.
With Levelle,
Cedric,
JJ, and Malik. Now, I was the only one doing the R&B. I had 3 comedians that I was fighting with.
Yeah.
But it gave me my own platform where I went out and sang.
Gotcha.
And then they come out and made them laugh.
Uh-huh.
So doing those dates with them, it was an amazing thing, man.
Mm-hmm. Cool,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, we had a real good place with this one. I tell you, thank you again.
Yes, sir.
For coming, sitting down with me, just rapping with me and everything, building it. You know what I'm saying? Building it up. I appreciate it. Anything you got coming up soon?
Yeah, well, we, I don't know if you know, but I did sign to a label.
Okay.
SRG through Universal. I'm over there with Brian McKnight, Kenny Lattimore,
all right,
Raheem, Vivian Green, Shaka Khan, Raheem Devon. So I'm over there and it's some good company.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to put out the new project in the new year. Top of the year. We drop a new single. Levelle, My Journey Continues, still doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep the intensity up and keep it going.
Right.
So just working on new music. I do have a show here with Life Jennings and Cut Close on the 17th.
Okay.
And then that's pretty much it for the year. It's strictly working on finishing up the album.
Okay.
And getting ready to see whatever tour God is about to bless me to.
Oh, you're going to get blessed.
Take the new year into a good little run like that, man.
You're going to get blessed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I tell you, thank you. Never goodbye.
No, sir.
I always see you later.
Yes, sir.
May God be your direction and we be your seatbelt in this thing called life.
Yes, sir.
Till we see each other again, man, you be cool, be safe.
You too, brother.
Love,
Thank you
baby.
for having me,
It's
man.
love, baby.
All right now.